What if you could lose 7 pounds in 10 days and feel fabulous? Hi, this is Dr. Mark Hyman, and if you stay tuned, I'll tell you how to do that. Now, I want you to know that I wrote Ultra Metabolism, my last book, and it was successful beyond my wildest hopes. But what happened during that process was people asked me for a quick start guide, and they wanted something simple that they could use just to get going. Now, I realized that I gave people a lot of choices, and I gave people a lot of direction about how to personalize their health and weight loss program in Ultra Metabolism. But what I didn't really do was give people a very simple, no choice, here's how you do it program for feeling better and getting quick results. And I just got back from a trip to Mexico doing a week of detoxification on the beach, eating healthy food, exercising, doing yoga, and it just occurred to me why it was so absolutely fabulous for me. Because I have to make so many choices every day. During this program, I had to make no choices. Everything was laid out. The food was laid out, the activities were laid out, and my system got a chance for profound and deep rest and healing. And I feel better than I've felt in 10 years, and I have felt pretty good before. So the change has to be easy. You have to follow the program, and you have to get results. And that's what I realized I've been doing for over a decade. I didn't quite get this until people started asking me for something simple, and I realized, geez, I've already been doing this for over 12 years. I've been helping people through this one-week experience by giving them a simple, easy, quick start to give them the experience of what it feels like to feel great and lose weight very quickly. I did this at Kenya Ranch. I'm doing it now at my Ultra Wellness Center. I've done it at workshops at places like Rapallo in Mexico and the Omega Institute. And what I love to do is just to give people the experience of feeling good in just 7 days. I do it through a very simple, easy, uncomplicated program with quick results. And my hidden motivation is not to help people lose a quick 10 pounds. Because as I said, I'm not a weight loss doctor. It's the opportunity so you can learn from your own body what it's like to feel good. You don't have to listen to me or believe me. And I realize that people need guidance, they need direction, support, something really simple, maybe something even ultra simple. So I distilled all this knowledge into a simple program, and I asked myself, what makes the most difference in the short term to help people switch their metabolism, to lose weight, and to feel good? And I realized it was two simple things. One, address inflammation, and two, deal with toxins and toxicity. So I start there without any other complicated details, as I often talked about in Ultra Metabolism, and the rest just follows automatically. Now, I've worked with people personally for years. I do one-on-one consultations, I work in workshops, and I thought that people needed that one-on-one intimate connection with me and guidance to be able to succeed. And then one day, a patient walked in my office, he'd heard me give a lecture, that's it, just a 1-hour lecture, and he tried the suggestions that I talked about in my lecture. He tried this program. And I'll tell you a story. He was a 32-year-old insurance worker. He heard my lecture. He was about 240 pounds when I saw him. He'd gained 55 pounds since he'd been married, and he had the health of an 80-year-old. He was exhausted. He had sugar addictions. He was drinking 6 cups of coffee a day. He ate carbs nonstop. And he had headaches, and he sweated all the time. He had no sex drive. He had acne all over his face. His stomach was bloated. He had postnasal drip and muscle cramps and anal itching. His cholesterol was through the roof. He had high blood pressure, and he even had sleep apnea. So all he did was for 1 week try my suggestions. He said, well, can't hurt, just try it for 1 week, right? So what happened to him? Well, he cleaned up his diet. He had no junk food, no more Cokes, caffeine, or sugar. He got rid of the foods that were the top allergens, things like gluten, dairy, sugar, eggs, and yeast. He didn't even exercise. He lost 10 pounds in 7 days. And then he lost 10 more pounds over the next 2 weeks. His cravings were gone. He had no more postnasal drip or congestion. His sex drive came back. His irritable bowel was better, no more reflux, and his muscle cramps were gone. And he never even saw me. And he achieved all of this on his own, following a very simple approach that I recommend to everybody. And I realized that others could benefit from this very simple plan for just 1 week to help them see how great they can feel. I don't want people to take for granted that the symptoms that they have and the poor health that they have is a normal part of life. It's not. Don't accept that. So how does this work? Well, it's very simple. First, you address the toxins that are in our life, and you learn to detoxify. And two, you address inflammation and learn to cool it. So what are the toxins? Very simple. For 1 week, you get rid of junk food, sugar, high fructose corn syrup, trans fats, caffeine, alcohol, and toxic stress. Sounds easy, but maybe it's not that easy to really do that for some people, but it's a powerful and very simple idea. The second is to cool inflammation, and that's best done by getting rid of sugar and flour and bad fats, which we talked about, and hidden food allergens, things that most of you don't know you have that are making you inflamed. And you do this by eating real food, not too much, and mostly plants, as I've said before. The rest is automatic. So let's talk about the first key. The first key is how to deal with toxins. Now what are they? They're toxic foods. Toxic foods like sugar, trans fat, high fructose corn syrup, and then things like alcohol and caffeine, which are addictive drugs. And second is food additives, pesticides, hormones, antibiotics that are abundant in our food and our water supply. And then also heavy metals like mercury and lead that come from fish and other places. So we have to get rid of these things for just 1 week. We also have to look at our thoughts and our behaviors and really ask ourselves what thoughts we have that are toxic and what thoughts we have that don't serve us. When we unburden ourselves, when we get rid of this toxic overload, which burdens our ability to deal with garbage, our bodies can begin to heal and function. That's what you feel in the first week. Now, science shows us how toxins affect our metabolism. And I've written about this in Ultra Metabolism. In fact, I was lecturing at a medical conference where I provided a talk on how toxins affect obesity. And you can read more about this scientific literature in the whole proceedings from this conference at www.alternative-therapies.com. And you can download the entire free proceedings of the scientific papers that were presented at this medical conference. And I presented one on how toxins affect obesity. I'm not going to go into all the technical details here, but if you want, you can go ahead and read that. So toxins do affect your thyroid. They promote inflammation. They damage your energy and fat burning. And they interfere with appetite signals. That's how it screws up your weight and your health. So what do you do about it? Well, you eat high-quality protein, sulfur-containing proteins like beans, nuts, lean animal protein, whole grains. And if you're not allergic to eggs or whey protein, they're very good sources of detoxifying amino acids because they're the building blocks of the detoxification system that you have. Second, be colorful. Eat foods with lots of rich, diverse colors, greens, blues, reds, yellows, things like green tea, broccoli, turmeric, which is that yellow spice that's in curry, and even cocoa and chocolate are powerful detoxifiers. And also, lastly, get sweaty, because getting sweaty helps your body excrete toxins. It helps the toxins get liberated from the fat tissue, gets excreted in the skin. It also increases circulation, and it reduces stress. So it's a powerful detoxifying tool. So eat good quality protein, be colorful, and get sweaty. Okay, so next week, I'm going to tell you about the second critical key to losing weight and regaining your health in this 1 week program. And it's by dealing with inflammation. This is a root cause of disease. And I'm going to teach you how to cool it off in less than 1 week. And I really don't want you to believe me. Anyone can do something for 1 week. Anybody can make a change for 1 week. I just want you to try it. Don't believe me. Your body won't lie. Stay tuned.